final. By the way, those 47 touchdowns tie Barry Sanders for the most in the first 3 seasons in NFL history. All right, let's go back to the Cowboys. They scored 30, but they struggled in the red zone. Prescott's numbers compared to the first 12 games, he completes 30% fewer passes off target on 30% more passes, had the second most red zone completions in the NFL entering the game. I mean, there was, we were so excited. I don't know if you guys were, but a lot of folks about the Cowboys and how they were looking really came back down to earth. What did you think about how the Lions handled that offense in particular last night?
I thought Kelvin Shepard was the best coach on the field last night, the defensive coordinator for the Lions. They treated the Cowboys receivers like they treated the Bengals receivers, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Not only in the red zone, but on third down. Double linebackers walked up in A-gaps. That creates the one-on-one to the tackles. And then they take those defensive backs and they just sit them at the sticks. Everybody with zone eyes, though, sitting there understanding pass rusher will win. Ball has to come out of the quarterback's hands. And everybody's just kind of playing an area, driving onto the football. There's a pass breakup on third down. Hannah, you mentioned the red zone. Okay, 3-man front, but the backer up near the line of scrimmage is going to once again create one-on-ones. Where's CeeDee Lamb? Where's George Pickens? Let's double team them both. Third down in the red zone. You see both brackets by the safeties, make somebody else beat them, and then the pass rushers on the edge have to get there. Now the third down later in the game, no CeeDee Lamb. The only guy that you're really worried about is George Pickens. Once again, let's double team George Pickens. Safety has eyes on him. They pass it off, then forces somebody else for Dallas's offense to win. Anzalone and Ferguson one-on-one hand fighting. It's either an incompletion or pass interference. I just thought the plan of never exposing his defensive backs, consistently saying, George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, you're not going to be the ones to beat us. I thought the plan was just fantastic by Kelvin Shepard, and it's the reason why they slowed down this potent offense.
It was the thing about the plan was it was a plan with no ego. Right? It wasn't like we have done these things all season. We've played a ton of man all season. No, he made the right call based on the roster that was on the opposing sideline.
Yeah, putting people in position to succeed, which is what all the great coaches do. But this is terrible news from Jeremy Fowler. The test this morning confirming that star safety Brian Branch has torn his Achilles. It's a big hit for the Cowboys.
This is huge. When you lose a player like him, so physical, so versatile, this is really going to affect the way that Kelvin Shepard calls defense. And there were so many times where they could stay in base personnel against 11 personnel, which is 3 wide receivers and 1 running back, because you knew that Brian Branch could come down and cover the slot. And so this changes a lot for this team, and it really starts to make you feel a little bit like you felt last year down the stretch. Will they start losing these important pieces as the playoffs approach?
Is there wood anywhere we can knock on? Because that was terrible at the end of last season. Let's talk about the offensive side of the ball, Mina, before we wrap on the Lions, because this is their 3rd game this season of 40-plus points. So what did you like about their game plan?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with the guys about Kelvin Shepard, but I also thought Dan Campbell did a brilliant job calling this game and leaning into the Lions' best advantage going into this, which was their pass catchers with the ball in their hands over the middle of the field, pulling away from the Dallas DBs and mitigating that pass rush, which was a concern. So coming into this game, the Lions on early downs had a called pass rate that ranks 31st in the NFL. We know that this is a run-heavy team. Completely switched it up, in this game and had an extremely pass-heavy game plan on early downs that would have ranked 7th over the course of an entire season, by the way. And they found ways to negate the pressure by either Jared Goff throwing the ball very quickly or using under-center play action with heavy personnel groupings that allowed him to deliver the ball over the middle of the field. And also Goff, I thought, was fantastic, by the way, made some difficult throws under pressure, which is something he gets criticized for. But by and large, just very impressed by Dan Campbell, deviating away, from some of the Lions' tendencies in the same way that Kelvin Shepard did. This is a very well-coached team.
And here they are. They lose their offensive coordinator. They lead the NFL in points per game again.
We do have a second half, but the first half has not been what they wanted. 2 big plays, and the Lions have grabbed this game by the throat.
You can't win a game being -3 in the turnover battle. Simple as that.
Plenty of time. Cowboys need 2 scores, but I suggest you score on this drive.
Illinois has gotten the Cowboys into the end zone.
And suddenly it is a 3-point game.
Jahmyr Gibbs has 12 rushing attempts, and he's got 3 touchdowns.
Both these teams needed this football game tonight, and the Lions are going to get it.
We let an opportunity to win a game on the road against a good team get away from us.
Well, the Detroit Lions were absolutely balling on offense last night. I mean, and Dan Campbell was about that action. But it's a lot easier to be good at your job when you have guys like Jahmyr Gibbs and Amon-Ra St. Brown who are absolute game breakers.
All right, 3 plays that went a long way to determining Detroit winning. One of them is going to be the Jahmyr Gibbs touchdown. So I'm going to draw a line, right, and just split the field from that side of the football to that side of the football. I line up with 6 offensive linemen. They did it 22 times last night. And as the motion goes over, for me as an offense, I sit here and I go, okay, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 defenders from this side of the football all the way over there.
But what they should be getting, though, Dan, on the motion, he should be yelling bump, bump, bump. And so that will make Kenneth Murray, DeMarvin Overshown bump to the right, but he has to be gap sound on the backside. By him over pursuing or over adjusting, he's going to put his defense at a disadvantage.
And then the other thing I see is when Jared Goff comes out and gets this ball fake, then I had 7 this side, and now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 paying attention to Jared Goff on the bootleg. The seam for the run game is huge.
Well, right here as well, though, we need, if you run it back, then Deron Bland has to attack. But here is the safety. You have to go right now. If he goes now, he's able to constrict this, and maybe he can get overlap and pursuit from the backside, but he doesn't do it, and it's an easy play for Jahmyr Gibbs.
So that's the walk-in to start for Gibbs. And then you get to second down. Second to last drive for the Detroit Lions. It's second and long. They want to find a way to get the ball to Amon-Ra St. Brown in the pass game. Number 1, they line up with 6 offensive linemen. Number 2, when you do that on early downs versus Dallas defense, you're going to get what we call cover 3, meaning outside leverage. Here's Amon-Ra St. Brown with that cut split. Outside leverage, and me as an offense, I'm just trying to affect that backside safety to throw what we call a wrap in.
And the big thing here is you don't see Deron Bland in this play, but the thing Dan is talking about is with this condensed split, you get outside leverage, and so if you press into that leverage and away from the safety, it creates gap in the cover 3.
And we go ball fake away, and so I'm trying to get these linebackers flow, and I'm saying I'm going to take advantage of these backers front side. I just need that backside safety to step down a little bit, because what you're going to get is this passing window for the quarterback. Amon-Ra, get there, back foot hits the ground. There's the window right there.
And see,
that's that throwing lane.
And here's the other piece about what people can't see that is affecting the safety as well in the middle. Jamo Williams also has a condensed split right here, and he's going to run into the face of Donovan Wilson, which holds him as Jared Goff is able to hit this whole spot because of Malik Hooker flowing to the run.
Can't drive it. Okay, so then let's go to the final touchdown that basically seals the game for the Detroit Lions. Once again, 6 offensive linemen are on the field. They love to get in this formation and run what they call duo, meaning double teams front side. Everybody's going to double team. They're going to try to create a seam on the backside.
AKA the play they ran 77 times when the Buffalo Bills played the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Exactly. What I love is they take double teams front side, and they're going to run duo to the left side here, and then they're also going to run what I would call as a wrap, meaning they're going to pull this backside guard all the way around. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to step like the ball is going to get run this way, and then follow him on that handoff. The Dallas Cowboys defense has no chance.
And what you want to do is you want to work this double backside as well. You're going to get DeMarvin Overshown. He's going to float front side to make this play. Look at the tight end come off of the double and get into the second level. That's going to allow the big wind back by Jahmyr Gibbs and also the lead block here.
That's an outstanding job. Those 3 plays, all schematically an advantage for the Detroit Lions, but also a dominant when it comes to execution.
Sometimes when you get into these big games, it's not just about what you do schematically, it's about who you give the football to. And you can see that Dan Campbell was intentional about giving it to Jahmyr Gibbs and Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Great job.